Eretz Yisrael come. They had a chazan from Bell Harbor was really good. Now,
Yeah.
for the Bell Harbor show. I forgot his name. Did you know that? Kamasan. Yeah, it's very good. Very nice.
So a couple hundred people probably.
Yeah, like 500-600 people.
Wow.
Yeah, Baruch Hashem. Yeah.
Okay. We're on Lamed Vav, 36.
Oh wow.
36b. Several lines from the bottom. The reason why on Sunday we started to drop earlier is because on Shabbos we have only 45 minutes. And in general we fall behind sometimes during the week. So I put it in that Sunday we could get an extra 15-20 minutes into the shiur.
As opposed to 6:45, you're saying
As
being a
opposed to
45-minute
6:45.
shiur being a full hour.
Yeah, it's better like that. That way Sunday is like a makeup day.
Yeah, but hold on, it's an hour and a half, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I do is, officially we should stop 15 minutes before davening.
Okay.
That should be. I run over all the time.
Okay.
But, to keep up. But Sunday we put it in to be able to catch up. So
Okay,
that's what we
fine.
do.
Makes sense.
Okay. Amar Rabba Bar Rav Huna. You see the line starts 6 lines from the bottom of the page. Rabba Bar Rav Huna.
So 6 lines on the bottom of the page?
Yeah. It's in Menachos, you have to
Yeah.
open to the second part of the
Lamed Vav, please.
question of guest today. So Rabbi Bar Rav Huna says, Chayav Adam Lamashmish v'tefillin b'chol shah. Person needs to adjust his tefillin, to touch the tefillin at all times, like constantly. Kal v'chaymer mitzitz. It's a kal v'chaymer from the tzitz. The tzitz is the plate that the Kohen Gadol wears on his forehead. It says ma tzitz, just as a tzitz, shein bayelas karachas, that only has one mention of God's name. It says Kodesh LaHashem. In Amra Torah, the Torah says v'hayal mitzchei tamid, shall be on his forehead constantly. What does that mean? Shall like tasiach daita mimenu, that he shouldn't lose his concentration. Can't have haschadas from the tzitz. So tefillin, sheyesh b'hem askaras harbe, alachas kama v'kama. Rambam writes tefillin has, he counts it out, 21 mentions of Hashem's name. So for sure, you shouldn't be able to lose concentration from the tefillin. It's the whole time that it's on your head, you have to be concentrating that the tefillin's there. You can't forget about it. So you always have to adjust it. There is a machlekes in the Rishonim what this means. What does it mean that you can't lose concentration? Does it mean that you can't think about anything else? It doesn't mean that you can't think about jokes and frivolous things. Like, what's the extent of it? The Shita Mikubet says on the side over here, and Chayav Adam Mashas Tum Chalsha. I don't know if you have it in your Gemara exactly the way I do, but anyway, he asks, he quotes Rabbi Simcha, that says, if you need to concentrate on the tefillin, so how are you allowed to daven with tefillin? You have to concentrate on the Shema and on Shemon Esrei. You can't concentrate on both things. Obviously, he's learning that concentration doesn't mean that you can't have jokes or other games or whatever. It means that you have to mamish think about the tefillin the whole time. And he answers that Oisik b'mitzvah patur min mitzvah. That because you're doing this, the davening, you can neglect the tefillin because you're doing that. Then he goes on, he asks this question. He says, if Oisik b'mitzvah patur min mitzvah. Oh.
What?
Okay,
It's okay.
go for it. Yeah, you'll see in a second. It's rather low. You may enjoy it. Go for it. Sunday morning.
So excuse me if I fall asleep.
Then he goes on and he says,
You have look at those chairs over there. No?
It's fine.
"No, they're all the same." Or this
Oh,
one.
same.
Then he has this other question that if I say mitzvah, patur min mitzvah, if we say that, then if you're wearing tefillin, you shouldn't if you wear tefillin all day, you shouldn't have to do any mitzvahs because you're doing the mitzvah of tefillin.
No, but then
you shouldn't have to learn.
Then he'd be involved in the mitzvah the whole time.
Oh, so he said, yeah, he says, but you shouldn't have to learn. You shouldn't have to do any of the Taryag mitzvahs. He says, you'll say, what's the problem? You can wear your tefillin and you can do other things, right? You can chew gum and walk down the street. You can do two things there. So he says, that's not the pshat, Isaac b'mitzvah, patim and a mitzvah. Isaac b'mitzvah is even if I can do something else. He says, or else, what's the chiddush? I see here that I'm able to. I see here. It doesn't really fit perfectly. I see here that I'm reciting the Shema while I'm wearing tefillin, and I need to come on to.
Right?
Yeah, it doesn't fit perfectly. One that's interesting. These two questions together.
He used to wear tefillin.
They used to wear tefillin the whole day. Anyway, it's clear from the Shita Mekubetzes what he understands is Heschadas. In the Shulchan Aruch, Heschadas means other things. It means not to have jokes and other things. But you're allowed to talk about in tefillin about other things, and as long as it's not disrespectful or jokes. That's the way it was brought down. Okay.
Well, we do Svardim is that we touch our tefillah every time we say
While you
tefillah.
say,
That's how we.
Is this the Mukaf? Is this, who is this? Rav? Who says this, by the way?
Rabbi Bar Rav Huna. Oh, who am I quoting?
No, Rabbi Bar Rav Huna.
Yeah.
Is he the one who says, because I see people, it's a minhag, people touching their phone
Right,
all the time.
right. This is where it comes
It's not
from.
just an OCD thing, it's people.
This is where it comes from.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do that during the day.
Yeah.
Tana Rabbanan. The rabbis taught Yadcha. It says in the pasuk the tefillin should go on your arm. Zu small. This is the left arm. Ata Omer small. You say it's the left. Ayin El Yamin. Maybe it's really the right. So Talmud Leimer, the pasuk says, Af Yadi Yasta Aretz. Also, my hand founded the earth. The Yamini Tifcha Shemayim. And my right hand spanned the heavens. It says twice. Once first the hand, and then it says my right hand. My hand must mean the left. Follow? V'aymer, there's another pasuk. Yada liyased tishlachna, v'yamina lahalamis amelim. Her right hand held the peg. This is Yael, putting the peg in Sisera's temple. And her right hand was bang the hammer. So a peg, you need a hammer to bang it in, right? So what hand was holding the peg? It was the left hand. It says Yada, her hand. So Yad means the left hand. Va'aymer, lama sashav yadcha v'yamincha mikerev chikecha chale, v'yaminecha mikerev chikecha chale. Why do you hold back your hand and your right hand from destroying from being inside your? Why do you not take it out to destroy the enemies? It says twice, Yadcha, your hand, and it says your right hand. Okay. Usually the Gemara would say, why do we need all these psukim? It doesn't over here for some reason, and the Mefarshim go into that. Okay, whatever the case is, this Tana, the Tanakama of this Brisa, is clear that Yadcha means the left hand. We don't need anything else. Someone asks you, why do you put tefillin on the left hand? It says in the Torah, you put it on the left hand. So it doesn't say the left hand, it says you put it on your hand, on your arm. It says, no, that's it. When it says arm in the Torah, it means left. We have proofs.
You have 3 proofs, so when it's right, it's simply says.
It would say the right thing. Rabbi Yossi Achayim Maimer, we're on top of page Lamed Zayin. Rabbi Yossi, who has a sunken nose, his nose was sunken in.
He's puzzled.
Huh?
He's puzzled.
Yeah. So, Omer, he says, Matzini Yemin Shenikra Yad. It's not so accurate because we have the right hand, which is also called the hand. So it's no proof. By the way, Tosfos is not satisfied with what the way I explained Rabbi Yossi. That's an insulting. It's not a nice way to talk about someone. You can add to his name, his appearance, right? So Tosfos says that it's really the place where he comes from. Rabbi Yossi, that comes from a place called Chayrim. It's not a description of his nose. And there's other gersois here also, and then that make it look like it's the name of a place. It's a famous tshuva from the Chavas Yar, why we have in the Gemara terms that seem derogatory about people. Why that's allowed? It's a problem, because we're not allowed to say that to each other. So how does the Gemara do that?
Right.
Okay. You know who was called Big Tooth in the Gemara? It was called like Bhakti, Rabbi Yehuda. Shmuel says Shinana. Shinana, usually translated as sharp one, but the commentaries say it means big Bhakti, like big tooth. Okay, so Rabbi Yossi Achirim says that the right hand could also be called a hand. Shnemar Bayar Yosef, that Yosef sees Ki Yashis of Aviv Yad Yaminai, that his father put his right hand. This is when he crossed the hands to bless his son. You see, it's the right hand. So what does the first opinion do about that? It says V'idach Yad Yamina Yikri, Yad Stama La Yikri. Other opinion says 1 second. That's not a very good. It says Yad Yaminai. It actually spelled it out that it's the right hand. We're talking about when it doesn't spell it out. What does it mean? Rav Nassan says Ein Tzarech. As we're learning over here, how do we know tefillin goes on the left arm? It says Arei Oimer. The pasuk says Ukshartam or Ukshartam Uchsavtam Maksiva Biyamin. Just like the way you write is with the right hand. So Afkshira Biyamin. Also the way you tie the tefillin is also with your right hand. Okay.
This obviously only applies to righties.
That's the what?
This obviously only applies to righties.
Okay, 1 second. Very good. Ukiban the kshira biyamin, and since if you're tying it with the right hand, hanacha b'smal, it must be put on the left hand. Hanacha b'smal. So Tosfos mentions that let's say someone does everything with his left hand.
Did you say
But he
everything?
writes-
Meaning he puts it on with his
No,
left
he
hand?
does all his activities with his left hand.
Oh,
He eats
okay.
the soup. He does everything. He plays baseball. Everything with his left hand.
It's the left.
But he writes with his right hand. According to this limud, it goes after the writing. It doesn't go after anything else.
Oh.
So according to this, he would have to put it on his left hand because he's a righty for writing. That would be everything. Tosfos doesn't say. He says he has a question. He says maybe it's someone that's ambidextrous. And ambidextrous, the Gemara is going to say, puts it on the right. Puts it on the left. He goes like a regular person. So maybe this person is considered ambidextrous. Maybe not. Maybe it's not considered ambidextrous. Okay. It's machlokes in the Rishonim. Anyway.
You have to put 2 tefillins.
Yeah,
I
and the
think
down,
somebody
because of the
says
down.
that.
Yeah, Alter Rebbe goes after the writing.
Oh.
This would be, the Alter Rebbe is clear on this. Okay, Rabbi Yossi Achirim, what does he do? Hanacha b'smal minalei. He said that the right hand could also be called yad. So how does he know that you put the tefillin on the left hand? Nafkalei mehechet de nafkalei le Rab Nassan. He learns it from the same place Rab Nassan learns it from. And Rab Nassan learned it from Ksiva and Kshira. That it says write, it says that you write it, it says you write them on the doorpost. And it says you tie it. That you write with the right hand, you tie with the right hand. That means it's put on the left hand. Ravashi Yama, Ravashi says miyadcha, ksiv behei, which means keha. It says yadcha. Now yadcha does not need a hey at the end. Yadcha is your hand. Yud daled is yad, and then the pronominal suffix.
Where does he get that? Where's that from? What's the source for that yadcha?
It's v'hayol la'isal yadcha u'letet
he's saying-
b'smeinecha ki b'chizek eretzenu Hashem mitzrayim. The end of the
Yeah, when you daven.
the end of the v'hayakiv yacha.
So why is there a hey?
There's a hey at the end. That's not necessary. So Rashi gives 2 interpretations of what this means. One interpretation is that you added a hey at the end. That makes it feminine. That must mean that it's weaker, because the feminine would be weaker. But the women
put it
don't
on
like
your
that
right hand.
shot, so we have a second shot. Second shot is you put it on the left hand, which is the weaker hand. Yadcha.
Right.
It's the-
Okay, right.
The other pshat is that you actually divide the word yad keha. And
words.
just divide the word. It's like which means Keha means weaker.
So it's
Okay.
nothing to do with women.
Right.
Right.
Women.
Isn't it? You can go home and you
The
can
song
get away
Bais,
with this.
Sean.
Right. Amalei Rav Abba le Rav Ashi. Rav Abba tells to Rav Ashi, "Ve'ima yodcha shebekayach." Maybe the hay could be exchanged for a ches, which we find in several places. For example, how do we know there's 39 malachas on Shabbos? Yerushalmi says that Eily hadvarim, these are the things that you're not allowed to do on Shabbos. Eila is Gematria 39. Why? Because Aleph is 1, the 30 is, Lamed is 30, and the Hey is exchanged for a Ches, which is 8. So it's 39. Or the Gemara learns Hilul, Hilulim Kodesh Hilulim, it says Hilul, that you could be Mechalal. It changes the Hey for a Ches. In several places we have this. So maybe it means Kayach. Yadcha
Strong.
means Yad Kayach. Yad Shebekayach, the stronger hand. So Amalei responds back, Miksiv b'ches, does it say it with a ches? Now, what Rav Ashi is saying is not that you can never exchange a hay for a ches. He's just saying that you do that if you don't have a limud with the hay. But if you have a choice of what it says and what you can exchange it with, so you're going to take, especially when they're opposites.
Right.
You can't choose the weaker hand and the stronger hand, so we're going to choose the one that's written. Gemara says Kitanoi. This is really a machlekes in the Tanoim, how to learn this. It says Yodcha behei, it says Yodcha with a hey, Zusmal, it's referring to the left hand. Acherim Aimrim, others say, Acherim is usually Reb Meir, others say, Yodcha, your hand, Rabbi says Agidim. It's coming to include someone that's missing his hand. He still puts on tefillin.
From his elbow.
Now he's missing his hand down, probably from his wrist, or maybe even from the elbow. Yeah, but if he still has the upper part of the arm, the biceps, so he would put on tefillin over there. This is acherim. This is the opinion of, I guess it's Reb Meir, acherim. The reason why Reb Meir is called acherim is two reasons. One, because he started up with Reb Shimon ben Gamliel, who was the Nasi, and they decided not to quote him by name after that. It's a whole story. And the other reason is they say also what he heard from Elisha ben Avuya. They say
Acher.
when he heard from Acher is put down as acherim. He was a student of Elisha ben Avuya, so that's acherim because Elisha ben Avuya. So he was the student. It's called that. What else? There's this very cute thing why he's called that.
Wow.
That,
All his Talmidim were also called that?
no, he had one Talmud that continued to study from him even afterwards. That was only
Why
Reb Meir.
do they call him Pearl Acherim?
Oh, I don't know. Others.
One
No,
guy.
yeah, right. No, they don't want to say Acher said. It's not. It's,
No.
it's,
Acher
it's
is
Reb Meir.
Elisha ben
Right,
Avuya.
but it's Reb Meir. And they say others say,
Acher.
they're just like not to quote it by name.
Oh.
But when Moshe killed the Egyptian that was hitting the Jew, right? So it says he looked in the future, Shema Yatsa Mimeno Acherim. Remember Rashi? It says maybe Acherim is going to come out, maybe people will come out of him.
A Jew.
So they say because Reb Meir is a descendant of Nero. Because Nero converted. So that term in Rashi, Acherim, fits with this, because maybe Reb Meir, who's a descendant of converts, maybe is going to come from that Egyptian convert. You follow?
So Acherim means Gerim.
Doesn't mean
Specifically Reb
yeah.
Meir.
In
I'm
that,
saying like
in that
in
case,
the context.
in that
context,
case,
yeah.
Moshe looks into the
He
future
looks to see if there's going to be a
if
yid
someone
that
is going to come
yeah,
out.
Right,
so
right.
it fits cute with. Okay, we have these two opinions here. Let's learn one more brisa, and we'll see what's going on. Tanya Yidach, there's another brisa. Ein lo yizraya. If he doesn't have an arm, patim min tefillin, he's exempt from tefillin. Acherim Aimrim, others say. Yodcha l'Rabbi says agidim. That Yodcha is including someone that's missing his lower arm. Taisvis over here says there's no machlokes between the first opinion and Acherim. Why? Because the first opinion saying he's missing the whole arm. So he doesn't put it on the right hand. He doesn't have a left arm. He doesn't have a weaker hand. And the second opinion says that he's missing the lower arm. So he puts it on his upper arm. There's no machlekes. It's a problem in Shulchan Aruch. They quote on the side. There's a note here in the Tosfos that sends you to Rabbi Shaya Pick. He sends you to the Magen Avraham. A very interesting piece because in the Ramah writes in the Shulchan Aruch that someone that's missing his hand, someone that's missing his hand doesn't need to put on tefillin because even though he has his arm, but it's not called a hand. He brings that, so he should see. He brings the Aris Arua. Ramah writes he should put it on without a bracha. And Magen Avraham asks. Tosfos says clearly not like that. Tosfos says he's chayiv. There's no machlekes. Making it look like there's a machlekes. Okay.
Why should it be putter? Because he doesn't have a hand?
Yeah.
So that he can't wrap it? What is
No.
What's the reason?
You see, we're going to learn on the next page that the hand is the hand. The hand. So where do you put it on the hand? Well, you put it on the upper part. Al yadcha. You put it above. Put it on. But you don't have the hand. It's not like that.
So it's missing.
Right. Okay. Tanar Rabbanan. Iter. A lefty. Miniach tefillin b'yaminai shu smaila. He puts the tefillin on his right hand, which is his left hand. That's a little confusing. What it means is that it's his weaker hand. Smaila is a term. It's not just right and left. It could also mean stronger and weaker. That's confusing here, but you have to use it in two contexts. Puts it on his right hand, which is the actual right, which is his weaker hand.
What do you do?
The lefty.
No.
V'hatanya, but we have a brisa. Miniach b'smaila, that he puts it on his left. Shu smaila shel kol adam, which is everyone else's left. That's a problem. Amar Abaya resolves contradictions. Kitanya hi b'shelet b'shtei yadav. That's talking about ambidextrous. He uses both hands. He's ambidextrous. Then he puts it on his left like everyone else. But if he's clearly a lefty, he puts it on his right. There's a discussion in the Paiskim if he was changed by force. Naturally he's one way, and then they changed him, and they used to hit the teachers, the kid, he should write with his other hand and all of these. But if he changed for whatever reason, does that actually change the way he puts on tefillin? All of these are big discussions. Tana de Bei Menachem. It's taught in the house of Menachem. Al yadcha zuki bayras. On your hand, this is talking about the biceps. Beinei necha, between your eyes. Zukadkad, this is the skull. Heicha, we're on the skull. Amri de Bei Rabbi Yanai was said in the house in the yeshiva. Rabbi Yanai makim shemaycha shel tinek reifes. It's the place where on a baby's head it's soft for the first year because the bones converge. The bones, and at the beginning the bones are separate. Right? We discussed this once, that there's actually 320 something bones when a person's born, and when he's adult there's about 206, I think. They say 207, 206. And why do we say there's 248? My shot is because when he's 13, there's 248. Because the bones converge.
Right.
They like the skull bones,
What
everything.
happens at 13?
Huh?
What happens at 13?
At that
Well,
stage,
that's the
it's
stage. The
midst-
bones are. Why do Chazal say it doesn't fit with any of those numbers?
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying somewhere in the middle at 13. And that's
Interesting.
right. That's my shot. I'm gonna get disproven by a scientist, but it's my guess.
So you're saying at 213, your fat is at 13. At 13,
13,
you
it's
have
248.
248.
Yeah, that's my guess. Okay. The next Gemara is a very interesting Gemara. Boy mine plema mi Rabbi. Plema must be a student.
Isn't it the tefillin shalosh supposed to be above the hairline?
Yeah.
Where the hairline?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Right. We're going to
So
see
it's nothing
soon
to do with the
exactly.
soap spot. Oh.
That is the it's supposed to be on that spot, and it's not supposed to go ahead
Right.
below that.
But it's nothing to do with the spot where the child
Well,
is.
that's like as far back as it could go.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Let's see if that's what they explain.
The ones go placed from the edge of the hairline until
Yeah, that's the area in between those areas, from the hairline until there. Yeah. Okay. So Pliny asks Rabbi, Mishi yesh li shnei rashim. Someone that has two heads. Be'ezem miniach tefillin.
Yeah.
Which one? You've heard this? You heard this, Gemara? Which
Like
one?
a Siamese twin kind of thing?
Yeah. Which one puts on tefillin?
They're both.
The commentaries say that because we just said that the left arm, the weaker arm, the left arm gets the hand tefillin, so maybe the left head should get the head tefillin. So Amalei, you follow this?
Yeah.
Amalei, he says, Rabbi says to him, Oikum galei, or get up and get out of here. Oy kabel alecha shamta, or accept on yourself a chayra.
That's the right answer.
Which means that he's
joking around.
He's making fun of the sages. Okay. Adahachi, Rabbi gets a lesson now. While this is happening, meanwhile, Asahu Gavra, this fellow comes in. Amalei Yasialidli Yanuka, I just had a child. The Islay Trey Rashi that has two heads. Kamabin and Lamesav Lakayan. How much money do I have to give for a Pidyon Aben to the Kayan? Because he has two heads. 5 coins, 5 silver coins is what he gives to the Kohen. So, Asahu Saba, this older person walks in then, Tanale, and he teaches this halacha. He says, Chayav likin la yud slam, he's got to give 10 coins, 1 for each head. Only one of them should be a Bechar. But that would be if it's twins. But here it's possible that they both came out at exactly the same time. They're both the firstborn. It's possible. When twins, we say that one of them is first. We don't know which one. If we don't know which one, say, well, it's only one of them, so just give the kohen. You only owe 5.
Right.
But over here, it could be that they're both, so you have to give 10. Eily, is this really so? But Tani Rami Bar Chama. There's 2 ways of learning this Gemara. It gets a little confusing. It's Rashi and Tosfos here. Rami Bar Chama taught Mitoich Shenemar, because the pasuk says Padi tifta es bechora adam, that you should redeem the firstborn of a man. Shemeyani afilu nitraf b'toich lamed. I would have thought, even if Rashi learns, even if he was killed within the first 30 days, I should also have to give to the kohen. I should have to redeem him. Now, because if he wasn't killed, he would have survived. That's how Rashi learns. Tosfos learns totally different. But Talmud Leimar, therefore, pasuk tells me, Ach Chalak. The Ach is a exclusion, which means that this is as if he's a treifa, as if he wouldn't have lived anyway, even though he was killed. It's as if he wouldn't. Whatever the case is, we're seeing from here that a child that can't survive doesn't need to give, doesn't need to be redeemed.
at all.
Right. Now, so why did we say that how did this person say that he needs to give 10 coins?
Well, it's going to live. Or it's not going to live.
It's assumed that he's not going to live. So Shani Hachad de Begoylas Tel Rachmana. Over here it's different. That even though a child that's not going to live normally doesn't need to give, but over here there's a special halacha that he does. Because the Torah says, V'lakachta chameshes shkalim lagulgoylas, per skull. It's teaching me that if there's 2 heads, even though he's not going to live, you still need to give the coins to the kohen. Jesus learns differently.
So which one puts on tefillin? Or it's not
You know
gonna
what's
live?
interesting is that the Gemara is saying this as if Rebbe now has learned that this is not such a, he shouldn't have done that. That's what it sounds like when you're reading the Gemara. The Gemara doesn't go back to discuss, like, so then what happened? You know,
Maybe he's not going to live.
it
He's
doesn't.
not going to live that long.
Right, and the problem is that Rebbe, it would have been, you know, it sounds like, we see a special thing, that 2 heads, special halacha, what's going to be by the tefillin. It it sounds like it was a continuation of the tefillin. We're going to have an answer, but it doesn't go back to anything, and it doesn't really show me anything about the tefillin. First of all, he's not going to survive until 13. Second of all, it's only a halacha in Pidyon Aben. It doesn't show me. It's like there's a follow-up to Plema getting expelled from the and it doesn't really explain what the result is. It's interesting.
He doesn't get expelled.
What happens?
Yeah,
and
we
does he
don't
say, "Oh, Plema, you're right. Come back"? He doesn't say. Amar Mar.
And also the elder, you said, it says here that was Eliyahu Hanavi, the Saba.
Saba?
Yeah. So if Saba comes, Eliyahu Hanavi comes in and says, "Hey, look, it's not just, he's not kidding around." You think Rabbi would?
I thought the Gemara said, "You sure that that's what it is?" Asu Sabi yes zaken echad.
So if I have a footnote.
Oh yeah, I have that also.
Some say Silder likes the crowd. Tosfos to Chulin.
Pesach Einayim. This is
Gemara doesn't ask if he
according
has
to a
two
chidah.
arms, two left arms. Which arm do you put it on?
Yeah.
They say that two left hands, right? So that's an expression.
I don't know. I guess there's a limit to
You
what you
get expelled for that one.
Okay. Amar Mar. We learned before that Yodcha. Oh, we have to check this out. Amar Mar, we always said, was a brisa, and Gufa was always Amiraim. So what did we say over here? Yodcha Zuki Bayres. Tana de Bei Menachem. Okay, I guess it's a brisa. I don't know who Menachem is. Okay. Yod Chazuki Bayres, Minolan. How does he know this? That it's the biceps. The Tana Rabbanan. The rabbis taught, Al Yodcha. It goes on your hand. Zugayva Shabiyad. This is the upper part of the hand. Ata Aimer Zugayva Shabiyad, Al Yodcha Mamish. Maybe you have to put it right here. Maybe the tefillin go right on the hand. Or maybe on the hand. I don't know which. Maybe it means on the hand. So Amr Torah, Hanach Tefillin Biyad, Vanach Tefillin B'Reish. The Torah says put tefillin on the hand, and it says put tefillin on the head. Ma'ala Halan B'Goyva Sheb'Reish. Just like when it says tefillin on the head, it doesn't mean on your chin, or on your mouth, or on your nose. It means on the top of the head. So Afkan B'Goyva Sheb'Yad. It also means on the top. Is this where I saw? Someone explains that al means on top. Al yodcha means above the. Let's see. Okay. Rabbi Eliezer Aimer, Ein Tzarech. Hari Oimer v'Haya l'Chalois.